beforehand, when we had to do it every day in school. And it was shocking to me that we were in school every day standing up, pledging our allegiance to this flag, but the people that were supposed to be representing us in Congress weren't. So I wrote a letter to the president. It unfortunately didn't really get answered. But I still believe it. I still believe that those folks going to Washington should pledge allegiance to this flag and should believe in this flag. I believe in this country. I believe in this flag, and that's why I got into this. That's why I am running for Congress. As Hank said, I'm from Clarence, New York originally, but my family has roots deep here in Wyoming County. My Uncle Dave, sitting at the table, my parents, if you guys could stand up real quick. I wouldn't be doing this without them. But I'm running for Congress because the America that I grew up believing in, the America that I went to war for, no longer has a voice in Washington. You know, I came back from the war and made a picnic in a place like this, and literally 300 people came out to celebrate a veteran coming home. And it was that community that taught me about hard work and faith and service. And it was that community that when I patrolled the streets of Baghdad and I ate dinner in people's homes, that the Iraqis thought that we were bringing to them. You know, putting weapons of mass destruction aside, a lot of us wanted to help when we got on the ground there. And we met some amazing folks in their homes. And we wanted to be part of the solution because they wanted this American dream to come to them. But unfortunately, we know how a lot of that unraveled. And I couldn't figure out why. Until I got down to Washington because I started a program to work with youth in Baghdad called War Kids Relief. And it became incredibly evident that that America that I grew up believing in had lost its voice. And as a result, we were sent to war without a plan, without body armor, with all these other issues. And so I decided to run because this is a year that we can bring some real leadership and change both in Western New York and in Washington. I grew up wanting to be a school teacher, but I'm a teacher who'd gone to war, and for me that war was life-changing. Like many soldiers, I was incredibly disheartened by my experience, and that's why I went back into the War Kids work. But I was also frustrated. I was frustrated because we only had enough body armor, we had to share it amongst ourselves. We had 5 armored Humvees for 600 men. As a soldier, you can handle that. But as a citizen, I expected to come home to a country that was mobilized behind our effort. And I come back to Western New York, where most people my age have picked up and gone to Charlotte or Phoenix or New York City to find jobs because we're closing plants left and right. And so where's the greatest generation leadership that puts those pieces together and mobilizes this country and produces what we need to get done? And what I quickly learned is the Americans wanted to be a part of that solution. I learned that through War Kids, because all I said was I wanted to go back and help orphans. We raised $14,000 in a picnic in Clarence, and I flew back to Baghdad. We want to be part of the solution. We want to be part of the answer, but we need leadership who's going to ask. It's going to involve all of us. That's why we've been working incredibly hard at getting out and starting a conversation all across this district that no other candidate, especially specifically even the former Representative Tom Reynolds, has been having. And as a result, we've garnered a tremendous amount of momentum. We put together a real grassroots campaign and have support in all 7 counties as we endorse Democratic candidate. We've got a tremendous amount of folks, and you see them in our Powers Platoon t-shirts out today. As the momentum is building, the support is building, and we're beginning to really start the grassroots effort that we need for change. But what got me into this, like I said, was the issue of leadership. Because I felt there's an incredible void for leadership in this country. And when I came home, I found that there was a leadership that was dividing us. It was more about being a Republican or a Democrat than it was about being an American. In the service, it's the first thing you learn is about leadership. And my first day on the job, I had a platoon sergeant who came up to me. I'm an education major from John Carroll University, standing in front of 40 career soldiers. I'm supposed to be in charge. And this guy grabs my lapels and he drags me around the motor pool. He said, "Look, sir, you got to decide today what kind of leader you want to be. Because in the military, there's 2 types of leaders. There's those that lead by rank, and there's those that lead by example. The soldiers are going to follow those that lead by rank because they have to, but they want to follow someone that sets an example, someone that sets standards, someone that remembers that they're to complete a mission and get results. Unfortunately, for too long here in this district, we've had a congressman who's led by rank. But we as a nation have begun to lead by rank. We're the biggest, we're the strongest, so we expect other countries to follow us, whether it be on the environment or in Iraq. What we need to do is return to setting the standard, to return the beacon of hope to this world so they want to follow us. And that's what I'm going to Washington to do, to take leadership by example back to Washington. We've taken leadership by example across this district, and that's why we have all 7 Democratic county endorsements. We have the Working Families Party who's come out behind us. We've got General Wesley Clark, John Kerry, Bob Kerry have all endorsed the race. And Labor has been coming out left and right because they believe we're a voice for everyday Americans, because that voice has been lost in Washington. But I can't do this without your help. This campaign isn't about John Powers. This campaign is about us working together to take our voice to Washington. I believe together we have the power to change Washington, but I need your help to get there. So please, go to our website, Powers for Congress, sign up for petitions, sign up to volunteer. We ask people to join the Powers Platoon in 3 ways. The first is the financial piece, and tonight you're coming to help the Democratic Party out here in Wyoming County so they can help us bring real change. So thank you for getting invested. The second part is the volunteer. Go door to door, make phone calls, help us do the outreach we need to do to bring the real leadership and change we need here. And the third piece is to help us enlist other folks into the Powers Platoon. And tonight, on the way here, I stopped at the vet center right up here in the corner, and walked in, and I think I walked into a room about 99% Republican, but 100% vets. And I had a Vietnam vet who I've gotten to know pretty well from parades and other things grab me and take me around. And he introduced me to everyone. Matter of fact, I met a cousin of ours who I've never known before. He introduced me around and he said, "This is John Powers, he's an Iraq vet running for Congress. And as you guys know, I'm a Republican. He's on the Genesee County Republican Committee. But I want to vote for him because he's here to be a voice for us." And that for me was incredibly inspiring because that is why I'm running and that is why I need your help. So thank you so much for coming tonight. Thank you for honoring the flag today on Flag Day. Thank you for supporting the Wyoming County Democrats because this is a year we can bring real leadership and change. Thank you so much.